Good morning. Good morning. I am Lizzie DeVall, President of the Pampa High School Student Body. It is my honor and privilege to welcome all of you to the 2021 Pampa High School Harvester Hall of Fame induction ceremony. At this time, our nation's colors will be presented by the Pampa High School FFA students, followed by the singing of our national anthem, accompanied by the Pampa High School Band. Will you please stand? Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Please be seated. Haley Wilhite, President of the Superintendent, Student Ambassadors, and Student Body Chaplain, will now come forward for the introductions.
Many guests are with us today, and I have the privilege of introducing them. As I call your name, would you please stand? Audience, please hold your applause until all of our guests are introduced. Colonel Michael Foote, his wife Danielle Foote, his daughters Caroline and Emily Foote, his parents Jerry and Connie Foote, his father-in-law and mother-in-law Dave and Diane Valcourt, his brother and his wife Ryan and Jamie Foote, his nephews Cade and Colton Foote, and special friends of Colonel Foote in the class of 1994, please stand. Thank you. wife, Teresa McDougall, his daughter, Maggie Ritchie, and son-in-law, Matt Ritchie, his parents, Denny and Lynn McDougall, his brothers, Steve McDougall and sister-in-law, Tina McDougall, and his brother, Chad McDougall. And special friends of Mr. McDougall in the class of 1980 and 1981, please stand. Thank you. Next, please meet our other stage guests. Please stand as I call your name. Mr. Hugh Pyatt, Superintendent of Pampa ISD. Dr. Abigail Barton, Assistant Superintendent of Pampa ISD. Mr. Jeff Nicholas, PHS Interim Principal. Mr. Cody Robinson, PHS Athletic Director. Pampa High School Student Body Officers. Luis Martinez, Student Body Reporter. Abby Jensen, Student Body Secretary. Bailey Collier, Student Body Historian. Pampa ISD Board of Trustees. Mr. Matt Brock, President. Mrs. Denise Intiman, Secretary. Members, Mr. Richard Walls. Mr. Kay Taylor. And Dr. David Godino, Louis Nava, and Dr. Misty LeBlanc, who could not be here today. Other distinguished guests we have here today are individuals who have previously been inducted into the Harvester Hall of Fame. In the audience, please stand as I call your name. Mr. Harold Corson from the class of 1952. Mr. John Warner from the class of 1954. Mr. Ted Swindle from the class of 1956. Dr. Jay Johnson from the class of 1969. Mr. Todd Clement from the class of 1980. And Dr. Michael Davis from the class of 1983. Now please welcome Mr. Hugh Pyatt, Pampa ISD Superintendent.
Thank you all. What a great day to get to be a Harvester. You know, every day I think it's a great day to be a Harvester. But I like this one most of all. We get to celebrate others. We get to hear from others who have gone before us, who one day may be one of you guys. 10 years from now, you're eligible. You never know. And the idea that we get to continue to make Pampa a better place by hearing about the stories of those who have gone before. Today you're going to get to hear some amazing stories. I heard them last night just a little bit. I'm very anxious to hear again today what Mr. McDougall and Colonel Foote have to say. I thank you, student body, for being amazing. I thank you for what you do every day. Continue to give this ceremony the attention that it needs, and I know you will. I'm thankful for this opportunity to get to come and just induct other people into the Pampa Hall of Fame. As a principal for several years here and in other districts, I've never had a Hall of Fame before. It's amazing the idea that we get to honor those who have done some amazing things with their lives. And then we celebrate that in front of everybody so that we can be inspired to do great things. I know the student body are amazing kids, and they've got a bright future. And I know they're going to do great things. And I'm anxious to see who from the class of 2022 will be the first inductee on the wall. It's kind of a challenge, right? It's kind of like, okay, who's first? But there will be some. Probably more than one, I'm guessing. And other classes to follow. Thank you all for coming today. Anyway, thank you for allowing me to do what I do. Ask this question all the time. Are you enjoying it? I said, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Do you miss the high school? Oh yeah, I do, a lot. Always will, but I promise these kind of events good for my heart too. So again, thank you for what you do. Thank you for being here today. Without further ado, let's get this show on the road. At this time, Jeff Nicholas, our interim principal, will come up and say a few words.
Well, it is an honor for me to be standing before you in several ways, but Mr. Pye's a hard man to say no to. I appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Pye and the school board. Alumni, I want to welcome you guys here. Got some great things going on. Mr. Pye had built a culture here. One of the things that really jumped out at him when he immediately came here, and it's going to be validated in this Harvester essay, was how people treated each other and how we took care of each other. So without any more to say about that, I want to share a little bit of this essay. For the 6 months that I've lived in Pampa, I learned what family is. I learned that a harvester is something bigger than a school. A harvester is someone who grabs a paintbrush and paints a woman in need's house just because they want to help. A harvester is someone who goes the extra mile and carries out the groceries for an individual who might struggle. A harvester is someone who shelters and guides the ones who lost everything out of a dark tunnel. We all rise above ourselves to assist one another to get through any circumstance that comes their way. We take someone else's problem and we make it ours so that the problem is solved. We can be proud of that outcome together. Folks, that's what a harvester is. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. Swindle to come forward. We would like to recognize the winner of this essay contest. At this time, I would like to invite Leslie Ramirez to the podium to receive it.
I'm going to try to follow the pattern a little closer. Here we go. I'm going to try to follow the same pattern that I've followed now for several years, like a decade and more. This is the 12th time I've done this. I've been extremely fortunate to get the opportunity to give these awards. And when I read your essay, Leslie, I was just delighted, stunned, in fact, at how excellent it was. I congratulate you. One of the things I've done each time, and I think I coordinated well with the band director for this, and other people, I hope. But each time, when I think of Pampa Harvesters, I think of my class of 1956, and my goodness, when I say that, that sounds old. And it is, but I'm still here. I'm still a harvester, a Pampa harvester, just like you, and your classmates. So, as I've done before, I would like for the members, wherever you are in the room here, of the Pampa High School class of 2022 to stand and be recognized as Pampa Harvesters. If I may now, I'd like to make a presentation to you of this award. And again, congratulations. I've discovered as I've gotten older that my eyesight and my hearing don't always cooperate too well, but I'm going to try to read this inscription on the Harvester Statue Award that I'm going to give this young lady. And it says, Leslie Ramirez, first place winner, 2021-2022. Who is this Harvester contest? Pampa High School, presented by the Pampa High School class of 1956. I'm going to let you hold this for just a moment here before we leave this podium, because I want to say something to you and to the audience. I tried to think about what I have written that is inscribed on the wall of the rotunda. And each time I think about the last part of it, that if you're part of the past, present, or future of Pampa High School, then you are this Pampa Harvester. As I've said before, someone like you, Leslie, you make the statue come alive. You give it life. These things are metaphorical and symbolic, but as you pointed out, community, Pampa is a part of you. And although I have left Pampa, Pampa never left me. And so I say that to you because I know that for a lifetime, you, like me, you will be Pampa Harvesters. Thank you very much, and I congratulate you everyone.
The Pampa High School Hall of Fame began with the help of the class of 1997 and the guidance of Ms. Ramona Hine, Pampa ISD Administrative Office. Thus, in 1997, the Harvester Hall of Fame was born and became a yearly activity here at Pampa High School. To be selected for the Hall of Fame, the following criteria was determined. You must be a former Harvester, must have graduated at least 10 years ago, must be successful for a number of years in their chosen field, must be an excellent citizen in their community or a community leader, a person who exemplifies the Harvester spirit in their life, and must be present at the Hall of Fame Induction Assembly. Luis Martinez will now come forward and introduce our first inductee.
Colonel Michael Foote is a 1994 graduate of Pampa High School. Upon graduation, he was awarded an Army ROTC scholarship to the University of Oklahoma, where he earned a degree in health and exercise science and was commissioned as a second lieutenant of field artillery. Following basic training at Fort Sill, he was assigned to the 82nd Airborne Division, where he served in the paratroopers for 4 years. He deployed to Afghanistan during this assignment in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Upon return from Afghanistan, he was promoted to a captain and selected for the Special Forces Qualification Course, where he earned the coveted Green Beret. He was then assigned to the 5th Special Forces Group. During this time, he commanded SF ODAs 596 and 5313, deploying to Iraq on multiple occasions as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom, where he was recognized for his leadership and valor. In 2010, he attended Naval Postgraduate School, where he earned a Master's of Science in Defense Analysis. He then returned to the 5th Group as a major, where he commanded A Company, 3rd Battalion, and the Group Advanced Skills Company. Served as a Battalion Executive Officer and a Group Operations Officer. He deployed After completion of his time in the 5th Special Forces Group, Colonel Foote was selected to attend the Advanced Military Studies program, where he earned a Master's of Military Science. In 2017, he was selected to command U.S. Army Garrison in Fort Greely, Alaska, where he was responsible for the operational readiness and defense of the nation's strategic ground-based missile defense field in the Army's Cold Regions Test Center. In May of 2021, he was promoted to the rank of colonel, and he is currently stationed at Carroll's Cracks, Pennsylvania, where he is attending the Army War College. Next summer, he will move to Fort Riley, Kansas, to serve as a garrison commander for the post. His decorations include a Bronze Star Medal with V device, 3 Bronze Star Medals, 3 Meritorious Service Medals, and a Joint Service Commendation Medal. He has earned a Combat Infantryman's Badge, Special Forces Tab, Master's Parachute Badge, and Pathfinder's Badge. Colonel Foote, would you please stand?
Hey everybody, good morning. Super excited to be here. You can feel the energy in the room. Last time I was giving a speech in here, as my kids would say way back in the 1900s. I was part of the student body and I knew what the principal said I had to do today. So we're going to be excited here today. Seniors, congratulations. Be careful because it's going to come fast. And guess what happens in June? Real life's coming. So be ready for it. Proud of you guys for doing this stuff. Again, it is great to be home in Pampa, Texas. It's been a long time since I got to come home. It's good to bring my family back to this. My daughters are like, Dad, you always talk about Pampa and how fun it is in Texas football and marching bands and just the energy that comes from it. And yesterday, I felt like I know the break, like, man, he hasn't been lying to us for our whole life. This is actually how it goes. So let me get started. I'm going to start with the thanks. I told my dad this morning, I feel like I'm on my way to Amy's or Randy's or any guy. So big thanks. Students, thank you all for hosting this. I know you're sitting here going, of course I'm here because they told me I had to be here, but you were the energy of it, whether you're the class of 56 or the class of 22 or the class of 2032. It's over in Austin Elementary and Wilson. That is the energy that is Pampa, Texas, and that is the energy of the harvester that never stops. So thank you all. Pampa High School and everybody that's tied to it, thank you all so much for doing this. And Pampa Independent School District, thank you all for doing this and setting this up. Like Superintendent High said, not everybody does this, and not everybody recognizes their parallels this way. Ms. Karen Linder, thank you. Jeff agrees. You were the head cat herder when somebody gets this, and then you've got to be grown adults who are acting like freshmen, procrastinating, turning stuff in. Thank you for being with us and getting us to this point today. So let's give her a round of applause. For my class, class of 94, you guys look great. Not a day older than when we left this place. Wow. Fire, maybe a little bit. I think it was a class of 93 grade. I thought about standing up and being part of 94. I think that's what I saw here. Thank you all for coming today. And thanks again to Pampa, Texas. It's a fantastic place. And I had a list of names. I could go on forever. But these are the people that make the town. It's the mechanics, the Cavaliers, the Courage, the Waters. And I can just keep going and going and going and going. And that's the people that make doing this for about a year and a half. I don't know if you guys saw the news. There's been some stuff going on that has messed up people getting together. I'm glad that the great state of Texas is not wearing masks and is back to normal life. So congrats to the great state of Texas. So what is this old guy going to talk about today? So yeah, I got a year and a half to think about it, and I live with 2 teenage girls. So I'm like, hey, I got to talk to a bunch of teenagers. I got resident experts right here. So I said, hey, what should I talk about? What would you want to hear some old guy talk about? And then, so here's what I got. First one, and I'll keep these non-attributional. I'll let you pick which guy is the first one. Dad, you got to get their attention. You need a fake cuss. Yeah. That's what I said. What? So Daniel and I think we're raising pretty good kids. So I did what any good dad would do. I looked right in my eye and I'm like, shut the front door. I can't do that. Your grandma's going to be there. So the next one looks at me and goes, I don't know, Dad, and gives an eye roll. You know, the teenage eye roll, most of y'all did it this morning before school. And then half of y'all just did it now because you're like, I'm kind of mad. She goes, I don't know what she should do, but you need to make it long so that they don't have to go back to class. So, with that fantastic wisdom bestowed upon me, this is what I came up with. 3 quick things: time, service, and be a good human. Time, service, be a good human. Remember, those are going to be pop quizzes. Ryan Baker, where are you? Everybody just went, oh my God, he knows some of our names. Ryan Baker, there he is. Right. We just gave you 3 things. Oh. What's the first one? Time. Good job. All right, thanks, Ryan. Thanks. So here's the trick with time. And again, seniors, I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to every human in this room. It's finite. There's 24 hours in a day. That doesn't change. It doesn't change for any human in the world. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor. If you're a president or a king, you get 24 hours in a day. If you're Beyonce, Drake, Billie Eilish, you get 24 hours in a day. If you're a student at Pampa High School, 24 hours in the day, right? You can't buy more and you can't make more. No human can do that. It's truly a priceless thing. So here's the scary part. No one knows how many of those hours that you're going to get. That's a hard, scary fact. It doesn't matter if you're 15, 50, or 115 years old. It's scary not knowing when this roller coaster ride's going to end. So what can you do? I would tell you, you make the most of every one of those days and every one of those hours. That sounds pretty easy, right? It can be, but you need to do some things to keep yourselves on track. First, you have to think about what you're going to do. You can't just bumble through life. So what do I want to look like when I'm 30 years old, when I'm 50 years old, when I'm 70 years old? Think about that job, family, cars, kids, churches, communities. Who is the person that I want to be, and how do I make that happen? Second, you got to make a plan. You got to think about all those questions and how you answered them, and figure out how you're going to get to that spot. That plan's going to help show you how you should spend your time. Third, you got to get to work, man. You have to do good, hard work. You have to make that plan happen, and you have to never forget, it's up to you and only you. Yes, you may get some help. You may get a lot of help. You may get no help. But it's up to you to actually achieve those things. You are the one person that's going to determine your own future. So how do we best use our time? Think, plan, and then get to work. Sam Aguiano. Where is he? Oh man, did I just bust somebody out skipping the... All right, not coming up. We're gonna embarrass Leslie again, because she's here and I know her name. Leslie, what was the second thing? Time, service, good, Matt. No wonder you're getting trophies, that's fantastic. Service, give to some cause bigger than yourself. No matter where you end up on the globe, you should look for ways to serve others. I'm not selling the Army here because I'm in this uniform. All the old guys in the room went, I knew he was going to turn this into a recruiter pitch. I'm talking about small ways to give back to your community. Mow a neighbor's yard, serve dinner at a local homeless shelter, deliver Meals on Wheels, coach a kid's sports team. I don't care what you do, but find a way to help other people. And don't think this has to be some earth-shattering, I'm going to stop war and hunger across the earth kind of thing. Find something local and impact a person's life, one person. Think about service when you're picking careers, especially you seniors, it's coming. And I'll be honest with you, I don't care if you go to college or not. Find a career you enjoy and find a way to serve in that field. You guys see service every day and don't think about it. Teachers, first responders, nurses, farmers, mechanics. No one is getting rich in those jobs. But we're all screwed when they don't show up to work because they are serving all of us in their own ways. All right, here's the test for me. Rebecca Rujvidzo. Rebecca, you out there? Is that close? Close? Did I say Rujvidzo right? Close enough? That's all right. That's how I know when it's a telemarketer calling and they ask for Foote. I'm like, oh, nope, guy's not here. Gotta go. Okay. All right, third thing. Time, service, be a good human. Good job. Excellent. It's okay. You can take a breath now. It's okay. I'm not done calling people out, but I'm not going to call you out anymore. Well, if somebody else gets something wrong, maybe we'll come back to it. So be a good human. That sounds pretty simple, right? It can be, but if it's that easy, why is everybody so angry? When you turn on the TV, they're just yelling at you all the time. So like I mentioned about service, it starts simple. Don't be mean. Help others. Show respect. Learn to listen and ask questions about the other person. Ask the new kid to sit with you at lunch. Don't send the snarky snap. Call your grandparents. Don't text them. They don't do that well. So that sounds a little bit like kindergarten, right? Probably, but if we expect those rules to be followed by 5-year-olds, shouldn't the rest of us be able to follow those rules? So since I left Pampa, way back in the 1900s, I've done a little traveling. Danielle and the girls and I, we've lived in 9 states. I've spent time in over 20 countries, some super cool, some way less than cool. I've met thousands of people. Some of them were pretty bad dudes, but the vast majority of them were good humans, just average folks who wanted to take care of their families and keep themselves safe. I've shared dried squid with a cabbie in South Korea, lamb with a prince in Saudi Arabia, cigarettes with an Afghan warlord, and grapes with a grandma in Iraq. The only thing my mom heard was, he smoked a cigarette? Just once, Mom, just once. National security matter. So they were all very different people, but each of them as humans just wanted better for their country, their tribe, and their family. So to wrap it up, I leave you with a simple challenge. Use your time wisely, serve something bigger than yourself, and be a good human. Thanks again to Pampa, Texas and Pampa High School for this honor. I am absolutely humbled to receive this and to be here today. I hope each of you takes a little something from my remarks. Class of '94, you guys are looking great. Thanks for coming today. God bless y'all. God bless Pampa, Texas. God bless America. Go Harvesters.
All right. Mr. Jeffrey McDougall is a 1980 graduate of Pampa High School. He attended the University of Tulsa and earned a BS degree in petroleum engineering. In 1986, Mr. McDougall founded JMA Energy, headquartered in Oklahoma City. JMA is an oil and gas exploration company with interests in over 2,000 oil and gas wells, primarily in the deep Anadarko Basin of Oklahoma. In addition, Mr. McDougall has interests in various energy service companies, as well as diversified interests in casinos, horse racing, gaming technology, and commercial and residential real estate. Mr. McDougall has been an active member of the Oklahoma Independent Petroleum Association and is successor to the Petroleum Alliance of Oklahoma, ultimately serving as its chairman from 2015 to 2017. He is currently a chairman emeritus on the board of directors and has had prior leadership positions, including an executive committee, vice chairman, treasurer, and federal issues committee co-chairman. In addition, he served as the president of the Wildcatters Club of Oklahoma while leading its political efforts, including providing testimony before committees of the United States Senate and House. Mr. McDougall has given time and funding to his community and many charitable causes. He has given significant support to the University of Tulsa. He served as a member of the Board of Trustees, and in 2010, the University of Tulsa recognized Mr. McDougall's continued commitment and support by naming its McDougall School of Petroleum Engineering in his honor. In 2013, he was inducted into the College of Engineering and Natural Science Hall of Fame at the University of Tulsa. In addition to his support of higher education, he has also supported elementary and secondary education, along with contributing to his community and charitable giving to a wide variety of organizations. He has served as a past director of the Harold Ham Diabetes Center and is currently serving on the Special Care Board of Directors, the University of Tulsa McDougall School of Petroleum Engineering Industry Advisory Board, and the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center Board of Visitors in Houston, Texas. Mr. McDougall, would you please stand? Please welcome Mr. Jeffrey McDougall into the Pampa High School Harvester Hall of Fame.
Good morning. Abby, thank you for that introduction. I think after an introduction like that, we really don't want to talk about me much more. First, I'd like to thank my co-inductee, Colonel Foote. Colonel Foote is an example of what makes America great. Colonel Foote and men and women like him defend this country. They provide the freedom to us that allows us to pursue whatever career we want to pursue, and in particular, in my case, pursue free enterprise and be self-employed. And once again, I think we ought to give him one more big hand. When he came over there and sat down, I said, man, thanks for not calling my name out. I thought that'd been really a good one to play on me, but he didn't. I'd I'd like to begin by recognizing my family. First of all, my mom and dad, Denny and Lynn McDougall. My parents have been strong examples through their marriage and the love of each other and their family, an example that I try to emulate every day in my life. It means a lot to me today that my parents are here to see me get this award. They put a lot of effort into me and my brothers. Speaking of my brothers, Steve and Chad are here. I cannot say enough about them except that they're my best friends. In the book of Proverbs, it says, "As iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. My brothers have been good iron. They've sharpened me as in my youth and in my adulthood." My children, Andrew and Maggie and Jacob, they've changed me and they've motivated me. I'm proud to be their father. You see, I had children at a very young age, and it was a true blessing to me. I owe much of my focus and my success to my great kids. I'm not sure which path in life I might have chosen, but probably not this one. And last but not least, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Teresa. We've been married 19 years. She's an amazing mother. She's beautiful. She possesses strengths of emotional intelligence and has filled my life in places where it was empty and I was blind. She is truly my partner. Teresa anchors our household and takes great care of our expanding family, my grandchildren, Benton, Rosalind, Tatum, and Wyatt. God truly blessed me when I found Teresa. Before I started on my words, I want to tell you that I know what you look up and see here is a guy that looks like I may have accomplished a lot. And I realize you're sitting in your chair as I was looking around and watching everyone's face after the terror wore off from maybe your name might be called. That when I was in your seat, the last time I was in this gym was almost 41 years ago. And I thought about, well, did I really know what I wanted to do? And it's somewhat of a evolution. You don't have to know right this moment what you're going to do, and it's okay if you change your mind a few times along the way. But I want to let you know that I was average. When I crossed this podium in May of 1980, I graduated 171 out of 350. That would be almost exactly average. I was a C+ student, and I was C+ because I didn't apply myself in my studies. I overachieved in athletics. You know, it was just what I was doing. So I want, as you listen to what I tell you today, and hopefully you'll come away with some of this, and I do want to provide my notes, because there may be some things in here you want after the fact that you say, gosh, I forgot what he said. I'd like to see that. We would love for you to have a copy of them. But, you know, my path to success was unorthodox, and I couldn't ask you to follow my path. And what I'm going to share with you today are things that I believe will apply to your life, both in your working career and your family life. So with that, I'd like to thank you, the people of Pampa. Because of my interactions with many of you and my family, friends, schools, work, personal relationships, you all ultimately shaped and influenced me. I learned how to win and lose by playing on many sports teams, including football, baseball, basketball, golf, and even track. There's no denying the foundation for my life was made in Pampa. And in this city, its people are woven into the fabric of my life. Thank you to everyone who did what they did to help make me. Pampa will always be my hometown, and I'll always be proud of it. So let's talk about success and failure. Before I give you this information, I want to qualify my use of the word success, as it can have many different definitions. Today I only speak to my success, mine, as it applies to my life. However, if you're happy and content in your life, and you love what you're doing, and you have the blessings of your family around you and your friends, and the love of those people, I'm going to say you're successful. For me, you see, success has been about family and my family business. as it has allowed us to live and also really live on our terms. You see, I work to live. I don't live to work. I know when I can walk. I know when I need to run. Sometimes I need to run very fast and I need to run very long. For many years, it was all running, but eventually my business began to give back to me and to my family many folds over. One of the best things about being self-employed and financially successful is that you can live your life on your own terms instead of living under the authority of someone else. And one last thing before I start, and it's a big one. There are two parts to success and work. If you're a success at work and you're a failure at home with your family, in my book, you're a failure. Don't ever forget that. A lot of people do. Again, like I was telling you, I was an average student when I graduated in this gymnasium in May of '80, like a C+. But 4 years later, I'd done a complete turnaround. I had a petroleum engineering degree, a 3.5 GPA, and 2 years later, I started my own company and was self-employed, 6 years from graduation. You see, though high school seems like a long, major part of your lives right now, the majority of your life lies ahead. I guess that is why they call it graduation ceremony, commencement. It's the beginning. Since my time is short and I want to touch on so many things, I thought it'd be best that I give you a bullet point list on what I think will help you both in business and in life. So what is the secret formula for success? I hate to tell you, there's not one. Because of luck and human factors that can really mess up even the best situations. However, I do know the following character traits and practices will increase your odds. My first point, desire. You must have a burning desire in your gut to succeed. You must be success conscious. You have to have your goals on your mind all the time until they become reality. You have to have a sense of urgency. You must have this as essential to success in all aspects of life, especially a balanced life. It is the sense of time, place, competition, and the important things in life. The ability to make decisions quickly. Don't be indecisive. It's the number one cause of failure. You cannot lead or get good results without it. Decide quickly, change your mind slowly. If you could, do you know what they call you if you can make a decision quickly and you're right only 51% of the time? The boss. Do you know if you bat .500 in the major leagues, you're in the Hall of Fame? What I'm getting at there is, it's making the decision that's important. It's not about being right every time. Persistence. Don't recognize failure. Persist over it and come back. Most people are beat once they get down. If there's anything I learned through all of my years in sports, in that locker room over there on Harvester Field, was how many times we'd come in that locker room and there would be a bunch of complaining and crying and everybody's dauber would be down because we were behind. And a good head coach comes in there and pulls these guys up by their bootstraps, gives them a pep talk, turns them around, and sends them back out on the field. Now, hopefully, tonight you guys won't be behind. But if you're an athlete and have ever played football, for example, you know what it's like to be behind at halftime. The number one thing to come out on with sports is the ability to come back when you're behind. You'll find in life, most people, when you encounter them, once they get behind, you've got them beat. It's that ability to come back. The other part of persistence, remember, yes means yes, no means maybe. That's the motto of a good salesman. Don't be afraid to lead. Make things happen. Don't wait for opportunity to jump in your lap like a puppy dog and lick you on the face. You've got to run out and chase it down and capture it. You must possess a sense of fairness and justice and lead with empathy and true forgiveness of people. When you forgive somebody, really mean it, do it, and move on. Accept responsibility and be loyal. Lack of loyalty equals failure in all aspects of life. Blaming is a sure sign of immaturity. I cannot tell you it's the number one tell when I meet people and they begin to blame others. Set expectations for yourself high. I would caution you to not set expectations so high for your family and friends. You'll be disappointed. It's different with your employees at times, and you have to work through it. But of yourself, you should always have your expectations high. Tell yourself, I'm better than that. That's not me. I can do it differently than that. I'll change the next time I do it. Solid planning. Plan your work and work your plan. You've heard that before. No guesswork. Know your details. Your opponents will. Guessing is like a boat without a rudder, aimlessly adrift and the ocean being blown where the wind blows. Most of the time, they end up in a shipwreck. You guys are old enough to hear this. Self-control. You cannot be a drunk, an addict, or unfaithful to your spouse and expect to get ahead and stay ahead in life. You guys watch the news. You see all the popular people that you think are great, and you see them go down one after another in flames. There's a term out there. It's called the trappings of wealth. They named it correctly. It's a trap. Most people can't handle it when they become wealthy. It's one thing to get ahead and become successful. It's another thing to stay there. You must have self-discipline to be your own boss. Remember, and here's the big one, you guys are going to fail. Yes, every one of you. You see, failure is part of success. They are not opposite. They go together. If you're not failing, you're not succeeding. Mr. Corson would know this out here. When somebody comes and tells you they're not drilling dry holes, that means they're not drilling any wells. I want to give you a warning. I'm extremely tolerant to risk. It's become my nature. I've been self-employed for 35 years and alone, fighting the world. So what I'm about to tell you, you've got to take with a grain of salt. I understand you're not where I'm at. You don't see the world the way I see it. I just want to tell you. Take risks. Sometimes take big ones. If you are playing not to lose, you cannot win. Again, if you are playing not to lose, you cannot win, especially win big. You're simply avoiding taking risks for safety's sake. Get out of your comfort zone. Success is not a very good teacher. Success makes us feel like we are better than we really are. Failure is a good teacher. We all come to our knees in our despair. If you fail, you'll grow as a person. Failure builds character. Failure makes you strong and resilient. Failure develops persistence. Remember, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Confidence. To take risks, you need to be confident. Matter of fact, you even need to be overconfident. If you're not confident, fake it. You can fake it till you make it. It helps to reduce fear of risk. Nothing is as difficult as it looks. Look at me. I did it. Confidence is a learned trait. Take risks, you'll build confidence. One of the best ways to build confidence is be prepared. I find that people without confidence always seem to find a way to lose. You see, you must overcome your fears. They're holding you back, and they're holding you captive, and they're making your world much smaller. Always be an optimist. Pessimists normally are not leaders or overly successful. Matter of fact, I don't know a pessimist that's overly successful. Let me tell you about someone we all know who overcame failure. Abraham Lincoln. He lost 8 elections, he failed in 2 businesses, and had a nervous breakdown before he became the President of the United States. A matter of fact, one of the greatest presidents of our country. To sum it up, get up early with a sense of urgency and work hard. Don't be afraid to take risk or fail. I do want to give you a couple personal points, and hopefully you'll think about these. Don't damage your integrity. All such damage is self-inflicted. Other people don't damage your integrity. You do it. Don't be negative. It minimizes your intelligence and your power. No monuments have ever been built to a critic. Make a point to listen more than you talk. And don't try to please everyone. Always do the next right thing. Even if you've done something wrong, move on and do the next right thing. Pretty soon that will be behind you and suddenly things will roll for you. Work hard. You see, most people miss opportunities because it's dressed up in overalls and looks like work. And the last personal point, and I think it's a big one, marry the right person. From this one decision, much of your happiness or misery is going to spring. Now, I know I'm a little direct, but you guys are old enough to hear it, and I wanted to cover this information quickly and get to the point and not baby you. I don't want to talk about me. You heard my bio and my path. But if you think my bio sounds that I'm qualified, listen to the points I've made. These aren't points that just came out of a book. These are things that I've gathered over time, over 35 years of my understanding of what success is and what I think will help you get aligned. And I would suggest you get a copy of these notes. You know, in the Bible, there's a verse called the parable of the seed and soil. And in that parable, it talks about a seed and soil. And they plant the seed in rocky soil, and the seed doesn't spring up. And they plant the seed in fertile soil, and the seed springs up. Well, you see, right now, you may not be fertile soil. The seed is the same. The message is going to be the same. Today, you may not be able to take these things in and make them work for you. But 5 years from now or 10 years from now, you'll be different. And maybe some of this stuff will make sense to you. When I was sitting in the chair where you're sitting as a senior, I'm not sure I could take this in. But since they invited me here to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, I wanted to bring you something that would help you. See, I'm the kind of guy, I meet to get things done. I don't meet just to meet. And I wanted to get something done with you. Now, some of you may take this home with you, and some of you may revisit this 10 years from now, maybe 20 years from now. But I can promise you, this stuff is right. With all that said, I've come to the part that I really wanted to deliver to you today. I'd like to dedicate today's honor of being inducted into the Hall of Fame to my son, Andrew, who we lost in March of this year at the age of 41 to melanoma. You see, Andrew was the wind under my wings since the day he was born. You see, I was married in high school. I got married in November of my senior year, and I had my first child in March of my senior year. Those two events changed my course. If you look at me and go, why is that guy so serious? It's because I've been after it from the time I was a senior. I redirected every bit of my energy from sports and competition and what I'd learned on playing sports into my studies and providing for my family. I know without him, I would not be standing here. My life would have gone a different direction. My journey has been Andrew's journey. So today, in Andrew's honor, my family and I are announcing the establishment of a new scholarship to be given to one Pampa High School senior to study petroleum engineering at the University of Tulsa at the McDougall School of Petroleum Engineering. The scholarship will pay for 4 years of your education and will pay for 100% of tuition. The scholarship will be named the Andrew McDougall Petroleum Engineering Scholarship. We will make this an annual award, but this year we'll try to get it off to a running start. So the class of 2022, we're going to award 2 to you guys. It's not often that you can do one thing and touch 4 things, but this is the case. You see, this scholarship honors our son Andrew in his life. It involves the University of Tulsa and our petroleum engineering school, a profession that I love. It helps the oil and gas industry in America, which is an industry that I love. And it helps Pampa and the young graduates, you guys, to go get an education. In closing, I want to thank all of you for inviting me to come home to Pampa. And remember, life is not about the destination, it's about the journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDougall and Colonel Foote, for sharing your wisdom with all of us today and for giving us so much of your time to participate in the Hall of Fame festivities. Also, thank you for the encouragement that you have given to Pampa High School students today. At this time, the show choir will come forward to sing Take Me Home under the direction of Brianna Montgomery and Tammy May.
Take me there, won't you take me? won't you take me home? Take me there, won't you take me there? Won't you take me home? Take me there, won't you take me there? Won't you take me home? Oh, take me there, won't you take me there? Won't you take me home?
We're going to give the rest of the choir a second to get up in their next location as they will perform here in a minute. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your wisdom. Gray County, two Gray County people go in the world and rock and roll. All of you seniors, you need to listen to their message and think about what they said. Teachers, thank you for holding our other classes at attention. I'm proud of the way our student body did. Couple other announcements. Family, class reunion that are here, please feel free to stay on the floor, mix and mingle and fellowship. This is your time. Embrace it and share memories and old stories. And this is your floor. When we release, here in a minute, students, you will have a 5-minute passing period, and we want you to go back to third period. Everybody understand? 5 minutes to get there once you're released. Mr. Pyatt, anything else? Okay. Cheerleaders, would you please come forward? Audience, if you would please rise, we're going to sing the school song and remain standing after that for the benediction that will be sung by our concert choir.
One, two, three, one, ready.
If you would, please remain standing. Freshmen and sophomores, hold tight. Seniors and juniors, you may now go back to third period.